So Notre Dame lost a close game at Miami in their season opener last year, and they followed that up with a home loss to Texas A&M. Those two losses came by a combined margin of just 4 points, and the Irish went on to win their next 10 games, but they still missed the college football playoffs, and that has Marcus Freeman preaching, "Leave no doubt heading into 2026. Well, I do have some doubts. We're going to cover their opening game at Lambeau Field against Wisconsin as part of our series covering every game in week 0 and week 1 here on Wager Talk TV. The Irish will be a 21-point favorite, and the total sits at 47.5. Let's get right into it. The Luke Fickell era at Wisconsin has been a disaster so far, but it might not necessarily be his fault. His starting quarterback has only been available in 12 of his 38 games at Wisconsin so far. Of course, when Wisconsin hired Luke Fickell, they were expecting to compete for Big Ten championships and playoff berths, but that has not been the case in his first 3 seasons. Remember, Luke Fickell took a Cincinnati team to the 4-team playoffs. He's the only coach in history to take a G5 team to the college football playoffs in the 4-team playoff era. He's got himself a new quarterback. Colton Joseph comes over from Old Dominion. He was second in the Sun Belt in yards per attempt last season, averaging 9 yards per attempt. He threw for 2,624 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 10 picks. But he's a dual threat guy. He also ran for over 1,000 yards and had 13 rushing touchdowns. If Colton Joseph can stay healthy, I like Luke Fickell's chances of turning things around here with the Badgers. We do expect him to be healthy for this week 1 game at Lambeau Field. The defense, there was nothing wrong with the Wisconsin defense last year. They ranked 4th in the Big Ten versus the run, allowing just over 100 yards per game. They ranked top 40 nationally, allowing 21.6 points per game. And when you consider the teams they were playing, the strength of schedule, those numbers are quite impressive. Their 2025 schedule, they will face 7 ranked teams. In 2025, they face 7 ranked teams. In 2026, only 4 of the teams on their schedule are in the preseason top 25. Their regular season win total sits at 6.5, and I have them favored in 6 games. So that looks about right to me. We're going to talk about Notre Dame, but before we do, please allow me to tell you about a few promotions we have available this football season at Wager Talk. Let's get it started with some big news. Myself and Carmine Bianco will be doing a weekly football show. We're going to go head-to-head with 3 NFL games. Carmine's going to state his case. I'm going to state mine. We filmed the pilot episode earlier this week. It should be up on the Wager Talk TV YouTube channel in the next few days. As part of the promotion for this show, you can get myself and Carmine buy one, get one free for the full season NFL, $899. Carmine is coming off a big football season last year. Myself as well, another winning year with both college and pro football. We started off the NFL season last year winning 10 straight between preseason and week 1. We finished just as hot as we started, hitting over 70% of our bets in the NFL playoffs. So you want to grab that while you can at wagertalk.com. If you're looking for college football, I've got a 5-pack of college football futures, 5 regular season win totals available on Wager Talk at my page, wt.buzz/JS. These are all teams that will kick off in week 1. So this package will remain available after week 0's games this coming weekend. And we got some programming news. Myself, Ross Benjamin, and Sean Higgs. You might remember us from a popular show we did a few years back called The Winner's Circle. We're getting the band back together this football season. We'll be doing shows twice a week, and our first episode will drop on Thursday ahead of week 0. We're really looking forward to it. And we will have promotions, buy one, get one free, 3-day passes, any combination of myself, Ross, myself, Sean and Ross, me and Sean, Me and Ross, up to you. You can get 2 of the top 3 handicappers at Wager Talk and Picks and Parlays for the price of 1. You can look forward to seeing those promotions on the websites coming up ahead of the football season. And I will say that I'm getting a lot of flack for my recent video on my top 5 overrated teams heading into the 2026 football season. Of course, the fan bases from those teams see me saying that their teams are overrated. They're coming at me, and they're coming at me hard. Well, I'm used to that. For those who think that I don't know what I'm talking about, I will refer you to last year's most overrated teams. The 3 most overrated teams last year, I had Baylor. And remember, Phil Steele had Baylor as one of the best teams in the Big 12 last year. I said they were overrated, and it turns out I was right. But my number 1 most overrated team last year was Penn State. We saw the disaster that was last year's Penn State team. And the 3rd team that I pegged as overrated, you might consider this a miss. I had Southern Miss, and I was referring to their week 1 line against the Mississippi State Bulldogs. I was correct about that, but Charles Huff, man, he did a great job turning Southern Miss into a contender. They ended up folding at the end of the season. So a little bit of hit, a little bit of miss on that 3rd team. But I think if you go back and you look at this video, the link is on my Twitter page. You can go check that out. If you're thinking that I don't know what I'm talking about, I encourage you to watch that video. Now let's talk about Notre Dame. They ranked number 4 in the AP poll, and their regular season win total sits at 11.5. So if they lose 1 game in the regular season, they're not going to hit that regular season win total. They ranked number 1 in the country in returning production. And that's starting to sound familiar because last year, the Clemson Tigers ranked number 4 in the AP poll, number 1 in returning production. And Clemson went on to have a pretty tough season. And now Dabo Swinney apparently on the hot seat. Notre Dame, of course, they lost those first 2 games last year. They've actually lost their home opener in 3 of 4 seasons in the Marcus Freeman era. And last year's loss to Texas A&M, we can't hold that against them, a 1-point loss to a team that went on to make the college football playoffs. But the previous 2 losses, they lost to Marshall in 2022. They lost to Northern Illinois in 2024. And Marcus Freeman seems to get a pass for that because most coaches, if you lose as a double-digit favorite to teams like Northern Illinois and Marshall, the fan base will hold it against you. The media will rub it in your face, but not with Marcus Freeman. People like Marcus Freeman. I don't blame them. He's a damn good coach. And Notre Dame has a damn good team. They're loaded on both sides of the ball. CJ Carr had a pretty good, solid season last year, and apparently he looked really good at the Manning Passing Academy. They got a bunch of stud wide receivers coming in from the transfer portal and returning talent. So Notre Dame is stacked on, I'm not going to argue that Notre Dame is not a good team. I'm just saying that the expectations are a little bit inflated, in my opinion. They did lose Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price to the NFL. I'm not concerned about the running game. I'm sure the guys they got coming in will be able to be effective running the ball. They're going to be dominant on both lines of scrimmage. They're probably going to have a top 10 defense once again. That being said, I'm still thinking 21 points at a neutral site against a Wisconsin team. To me, Wisconsin stock is at an all-time low. It's a buy signal for me. I'm going to bet Wisconsin plus the 21 points, but I'm also putting Notre Dame on upset alert. We're going to sprinkle a little bit on the money line with Wisconsin. I know you think I'm crazy, but I might be crazy like a fox. If you like this video, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. And if you've got anything to say to me, even if it's nasty, hit me up in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.